Hey everybody, it's Mike from Fishing the Mid-South, and today we're going to go over how to tie the FG knot. I'm trying really hard not to keep moving the camera because I'm coming from above, and that's to simulate your rod being in a rod holder. You're on the bank or on the boat, and you're coming, so you're going to keep a little bit of tension on this knot, on this braid. So you wrap it around your pinky a few times so that it doesn't slide. Now we've got a little bit of tension. I mean, it's not much, right? Then we're going to come in with our mono. And our mono, you want to keep tension on it as well. And I'll explain that as we go through this. So I usually just take the roll of mono or whatever and put it beside me to kind of give me some friction there. Okay, so we're going to come from the, in my instance here, we're going to come from the front of the braid with the mono. And I'll talk about the top and the bottom of the braid. And that is where the mono crosses either above or below, right? And there really is no good way to do this without hitting the camera. Okay, so our first twist is going to be around the top portion of the mono, okay? You want to have a couple of inches of mono over here. So because we came in front, everything's going to come from behind. So we're going to go behind the bottom. We're going to go behind the top. And the coils need to keep building towards the cut end of the mono. If you find that they're not building that way and you're coming behind, it's because you don't have your line tight. So there's 4. There's 5. You always want to bring the mono straight back out, and that helps these coils stay in position. And again, you get a little bit of tension from both above and below on the braid. So we're putting these coils on. I won't say that they're tight, but they are, there's no slack in there. So I think that was 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you start feeling that you don't have enough mono, and you can see that one went at the back like I was talking about because I didn't keep everything tight enough, then you can just slide the whole knot down. And then we'll go with 8 and 9. And again, we're just checking it each time. Make sure it's laying right. 10. There's 11. And there's 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. And give me just a second to tighten up my braid a little bit. Should be 17 and 18. So once we've done this, okay, we now have all of our coils, and 18, I have not tested the number yet. 18 is, yeah, we can still see that, thank goodness. Okay, pull it around the front there. 18 is what I've seen other people do. You can do 20, you can do more. More is fine, less is a question. And it's a question that I'm going to do some testing on. But anyway, so we've got our 18. So we're done with the FG knot. The important part of it anyway. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to create a couple of half hitches. So we're including the standing end of the braid and the mono in this half hitch. Okay. Pull it, and then we'll cinch it down. And what a half hitch is, so we're creating a loop on one side, and then we're coming under, or under or over, whichever is the opposite of where you've got the line, and that way you're creating what effectively is an overhand knot. So you see we've got that on both. Actually, that did not take on the mono, so let's pop that off and get it around the mono. Again, it's a lot easier when you're not trying to watch the camera and watch the knot and watch about 12 other things. So there we go. So that's our second half hitch, and we just kind of pull that snug. Okay, we're not trying to hulk it through because that will actually mess up things for us. Now, we can forget about tension. Tension no longer matters. Okay? So let me remove the tension from both sides just to show that it does not matter. So we've got our tag end of our braid over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that shorter, just so we've got a chance to see what's going on here. So now your half hitch, you have these two half hitch knots that we put in. Those keep things from unraveling. So we have secured the tag end of this knot. So all the way down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the knot from both the leader side and the standing end. And that's going to tighten all this up. Okay. And again, those two hitch knots are in place to keep the tag end of the braid from slipping. So I'm just going to put these nice little, sorry, fighting with the camera here. These rig pullers. So this gives me, so here's our knot here. And if you watch it change color. Hopefully you can see it change color. It's going to get darker as I pull. You can see it getting darker there. You keep pulling because you need this end to become darker. That way you've got the knot set from top to bottom. Okay? So, yes, this is the worst knot tutorial I've ever done. Actually, it's better than the 2 or 3 I've already thrown away. So, there you go. So what you're left with now, we've pulled this tight. Everything here is really firm because what you've done is you've tightened up the braid around that mono and basically, I won't say cut into it as much as you just gripped it really, really hard. You've compressed the mono a little bit, and now your braid is wrapped around your mono. Okay, so those 2 hitch knots that we did, again, remember we set the FG knot so it's not going to move from the tag end. So we take the tag end from the mono and we get just as close as we can to that braid. I mean, you want as little as possible. I mean, that's next to nothing there. Okay, so now you're left with 3 ends. You've got the tag end for the braid, you've got the standing end of the braid, and you've got the beginning of your leader. Okay, so what we're going to do now is there's a number of ways you can finish this. You could put a couple more half hitches in here. You can put a little uni knot in there. You can finish it with a risotto knot, which is kind of a uni that goes backwards. There's a lot of different things there. And the only thing that they're doing, they're not really adding strength to this knot. What they are doing for us is where we had the mono before with the braid wrapped around it, then we're going to just a nothingness. So we're just going back to a single strand of braid and we're creating these little knots. And what they are doing is they're going towards at the end of that mono so that that mono is not sticking out anymore. Okay. It's not going to catch on anything. And just make sure we get this good and tight before I cut anything off. And the reason that that's important, let me go ahead and cut off this tag end of the braid. And again, you can cut that super short as well, because we've got a couple extra knots in there just in case. Now, what this does is this is now going to go through the eyes of your rod so much easier. And because you never doubled over the mono, it's just slightly thicker than the mono itself. So when you reel this in, even when you reel it on the reel, it's not going to be big and clunky. Okay? So again, that is the FG knot. We are going to do some strength testing on that, but I wanted to show you how to tie the knot, and it looks extremely difficult the first 20 times you tie it. But then as you start to get the hang of it, it really is not hard at all. You just, it's figuring out how to keep that pressure where you need it at that, and like I say, pulling down on the rod using the pinky finger. That's the easiest method for me. And there you go. So this will be in the playlist for knots on my channel. And there also is a playlist for knot strength videos on my channel. I appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe and all that fun stuff that makes YouTube as happy as it can be. And we will see you on the next video.